Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review. And today we're taking a look at the BROTOYS Storm King. I don't know too much about this figure, but I want to give a huge thank you to the folks over at 5K Toys. They reached out and asked me if I wanted to take a look at it. And I said, of course, because they always have like the coolest, craziest out of the box figures. I'm going in kind of blind with this. I don't really know what it's based on or what it's supposed to be, but from what I've seen, it does look pretty cool. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, starting off with the packaging. Not a whole lot going on here. There's some simple artwork up front that does look pretty cool. Right here it says Storm King, ages 18 and up. And then on this side of the box, we do get a look at the figure, and he does look pretty badass. Down here it does say BROTOYS, and then on the back, we got a bunch of bullshit. And then over here, we get another look at the figure. And that's about it for the packaging. You know, it is collector friendly and all that good stuff. But enough about the pretty box. Let's go ahead and get this guy out and take a look. Alrighty, so here we have the Storm King. And man, this is a really dope looking figure. There's some great stuff going on here. The sculpting work on the armor is absolutely incredible. The face sculpt looks awesome. There's a bunch of soft goods in there. And it's just a really cool looking character. And I found out a little bit about this guy. Shout out to the people in my live stream. So apparently this is based on a character named Varian from World of Warcraft. And I looked up some pictures of that character, and this figure definitely captures his whole vibe perfectly. But man, they freaking killed it. This is, oh man, the sculpting work on him is just like next level. It kind of reminds me of that God of War figure that we saw a couple of months back. That thing was crazy, and the sculpting work on this guy here is up there with him. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. And like I said, he does have a lot of soft goods, including this cape. And the cape is nice. It has a wire running through the side. And the wire is strong enough to support the weight of the cape. The material that the cape is made out of isn't too heavy. So yeah, that's dope right there. And then he does have soft goods pants. And then he has like this stuff around the waist. And then as you can see, he's got a bunch of fur everywhere. He's got this cool hood. I wish there was a wire in there, but it still looks pretty cool. Kind of sits up a little high. If it had a wire in there, it'd be perfect. But as it is, it's still pretty dope. And I like it. I like the way it looks like this, kind of around the back of his neck here. So yeah, man, this is a really great looking figure. He does have this sword sheath that's magnetic. It's a pretty strong magnet too, so goes right over the cape. Or you could probably put it under. I mean, of course you could put it under. But then you'd have to work the cape around whatever you put in there. So we're just going to roll with it like that. But yeah, man, like I said, this is a really good looking figure. And by far the most impressive thing about this figure is the sculpting and the details. They really did some phenomenal work here. The whole figure has some amazing sculpting, but the armor, man, the detail in the armor is mind-blowing. And I'm going to do my best to show off all the incredible work they did here, starting off at the head. This head sculpt is really nice. I think the facial expression works well for a stone cold warrior. I like the skin tone. The 5 o'clock shadow looks nice. It's not overdone. It's very subtle. The eyes look good too, man. They kind of have a shine to them, which is always nice. And the eyes can move around. We'll take a look at that a little bit more in a minute here, but yeah, the eyes look really good. I love that scar going across his cheek and his nose. Look at that, man. Really nice. That's a great looking head sculpt. And the hair looks good too. There's not a whole lot going on with it as far as paint goes. It's basically just black, but it does look really good. It's well sculpted. He's got the ponytail back there. But yeah, man, I really like this face. And I like this collar too. This whole, the soft goods on him are really nice. But, you know, this fuzzy collar looks really good. This type of material seems very difficult to get right in this scale, but they did a good job with it. Then moving down to the rest of the figure. Look at this, man. This is ridiculous. Look at the sculpting and the detail on here. And the paint work. Like, you know, doing the detailed sculpt is one thing, but painting it so accurately is a whole nother thing, you know. But man, look at all the detail inside of the gold. That is crazy, man. What are these, little monkeys or something? That looks dope. But look at that, man. And I love the colors too. The metal, like silver gunmetal-ish color, and the gold. Look at that, man. That is beautiful stuff. And then check out his shoulder pad. Look at this right here. That to me is insane. The detail on the trim of the shoulder pad is crazy. Hopefully you guys could see that, because that is really impressive. And then this big old eagle. Holy shit, look around the eyes. Oh man, that is crazy. I just noticed that. And then on the beak, jeez. That is ridiculous, man. That looks so good. That's freaking crazy. And then over on this side, we've got a lion. And dude, the sculpting work on here is it's crazy. And I like how they mix some gold into the hair. It's not just all silver. Jeez, look at that, man. So freaking dope. And check out the arms. The arms have some nice sculpting work. And we have some more of that fur, too. Again, I like the way they did the fur. But look at that. I like how that burgundy colored strap matches the glove really well. And the glove has some nice like texture to it, too. But the armor is really where it's at. That's insane. Look at all that. Then we have this thing on his belt, which is another lion. These things up here are probably lions, huh? I called them monkeys earlier. That was probably dumb. But yeah, I think they're lions. I don't know. But look at that. Really well done. Then we have this belt that looks really good. And then we have this blue material, which is very nice and clean. And this little piece that comes down, there's actually a wire in there so you could pose it up. And then check out the boots. Damn. Man, what the... I just can't believe... I'm just so blown away by the sculpting work on this guy. And the paint work is really impressive. I mean, the fact that they were able to sculpt all of these little details and then paint them so accurately is just... That's like crazy to me. Like I said, man, it's mind-blowing. And then checking out the back of the figure here. Got some more really great work. Got the magnet right there. Oh, I like the way they incorporated the magnet into the design, kind of, you know. That's pretty dope. Got some chainmail hidden under there. Yeah, just amazing sculpting work everywhere. And the soft goods are really nice too. I love the cape with the bendy wire in it. I love the fur, the apron pieces. Or not apron, whatever this stuff is around the waist. And the belt. All of it is just so incredible, man. The figure looks absolutely beautiful. The head sculpt, the soft goods, the sculpted armor, all of it is just... It's amazing. Like some of the best sculpting work you'll see on a figure this size. And I mentioned before that the Storm King does have an adjustable eyeball feature, but it's kind of hard to use. So the way you do it is you take his face off. Boom. You rip his face off like that. And then you can see on the back of the face, it's kind of hollow. And then we have the eyeballs in there. And then he does come with this tool, and the tip of this tool has like a triangle on it, and then the eyeballs have triangles, like triangle cutouts. So you just stick this in there, into the triangles, and when you see that it's kind of like plugged into it, that's when you can kind of move the eyes around. Can you see it? Oh, yeah, there we go. It's really hard to do, especially like turning it around on camera and stuff. See, the eyes aren't moving, are they? Oh shit, there we go. Yeah, so that's how you do it. I know I'm not doing the best job of showing you how it works on camera here. Oh, there we go, his eye's moving. So yeah, you take that tool, stick it into the cutouts, and then adjust the eyes however you want them. So there we go. And then he does come with some extra pieces too, like some extra ball joints and some extra straps in case you have any accidents. And this little baggie is where the tool was. So yeah, I do like the movable eye thing, but I don't know. I just think like it just kind of, I don't know. I'm always going to be worried that the eyes aren't straight. Yeah, now they're not straight. Damn it, now he's all jacked up. So yeah, oh, there we go. That's straight enough, I guess. So it's a cool feature. I wish it was a little easier to use. It would have been cool if he just came with some interchangeable eyeballs, but you know, that would have been more pieces and probably more expensive. So it's still a fun feature. I do like it. And then for accessories, the Storm King does get some pretty cool stuff, including 3 sets of hands. So first off, we have a pair of gripping hands. And then he also comes with a set of fists. And then for the final set, we get a pair of open hands. And then he does come with 3 different swords. And all of these are cool, but let's go ahead and start off with this one here, the double-bladed sword that he has. This is really nice. Check out the little flame that they have in the middle. And then all the sculpting work on there. The inscription on the blade looks really good. The details are really nice. There's a lot of gold and silver paintwork. And this flame thing does come out. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But I think that looks really cool. And then the next sword is this guy here. And this one has a blue flame. And some more nice inscriptions on the blades and stuff. A lot of great detail. All of these swords are really well sculpted. And then here's the final one. And this looks really good too. Again, inscription on the blade, some gold, some silver, lots of good stuff. But yeah, so we have these little flame things that are removable. So you could take them out and then you can put these flames in there, or like these little energy effects. So like when he's swinging the sword, you could have that in there. And I think that's a really dope effect. It comes with 2 of these. The only problem is on this double-bladed sword, it's really hard to get the flame out. I mean, I was able to get it out, but then I thought that I was like maybe breaking something, so I don't want to keep doing it. But yeah, I do wish that was able to come out a little easier. Thankfully, we could use the effect on this sword, and even on this sword with the blue flame, this comes right out, and you could put one of those effects on there. So yeah, it does come with 2 of these effects, and both of them are like this orange fiery color. It doesn't come with a blue effect like this. So yeah, just 2 orange ones, and I do think they're cool, but I do wish that I was able to get it into this double blade a little easier. Man, this blade is crazy. Look at the detail on there. Yeah, so the weapons are really nice, and I do like the effects they come with. And then he does come with this little display piece, and this is pretty cool, as you could see. It's like some rocks, and then I don't know what the hell this is. It kind of looks like it's liquid or something, but it's like a weird green color. So yeah, I don't know exactly what that's supposed to be, but it does look cool. There aren't any like pegs or anything on here, so you can't like peg the figure onto it. You would just have to have him standing on here, probably with just 1 foot. But yeah, this is a cool thing for them to include. And then he does come with this extra pouch, but I don't know where this is supposed to go. It looks good and everything, and you could tell that there's a magnet in there because you can stick it on his back, but it's not like it magnetizes to the magnet that's in there. It's one of those deals where you can kind of feel it pushing away, you know, and then it just kind of sticks under. And I couldn't find like another area on the figure that had like a magnet. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a magnet in here somewhere that I'm unaware of. Oh, there we go. I found it. Nice. So the pouch goes right there. So that's dope. So yeah, I do like the accessories that the Storm King comes with. The swords, the diorama piece, the hands, all that stuff is really nice. But the hands are kind of hard to pop off the figure at first, so you may need to warm them up a little bit. But aside from that, I don't have any complaints with the accessories. Alrighty, so now for some size comparisons. Here we have the Storm King alongside one of the Mithril Studios Guardians of the Horde Warriors. And then on the opposite side, we have the BROTOYS Swordmaster. And man, I love the way the Guardians of the Horde Warrior looks next to the Storm King. They go perfectly together. Obviously, they're both based on World of Warcraft type of characters, and they just work together really well, so that's super dope. I wish I had another one of these warriors just to kind of put like 2 of the warriors behind the Storm King. I'm sure that's like blasphemous to World of Warcraft fans. Are they supposed to be enemies? I don't know shit. Anyways, this BROTOYS guy looks really cool next to the Storm King too, but obviously he kind of has like a different theme. He kind of has like a, you know, samurai type of setting going on here. I feel like he would fit better with like weird samurai monsters, not necessarily with like these type of guys, but you could definitely maybe customize one of these guys into a cool looking ogre or orc or whatever they're called. But yeah, man, the Mithril Studios Guardians of the Horde Warrior looks perfect next to the Storm King. I love that. And then next up, we have the Storm King alongside the NECA God of War Ultimate Kratos. And then on the opposite side, we have the BROTOYS Kratos. And when I reviewed this figure, I was blown away by the detail and the sculpt. And the Storm King has like the same level of sculpting work. It's amazing. So yeah, BROTOYS really knows what they're doing when it comes to like sculpting armor detail. They killed it on both of these figures. And then next we have him alongside the Marvel Legends Odin and the Zesray Studios LA Comic Con exclusive Bighorn. And then here he is alongside the 4 Horsemen, Mythic Legions, Valiant Knight, and one of their new skeletons. And as you can see, the Storm King is kind of huge. He doesn't really fit in with Mythic Legions. I feel like you can maybe kind of work it in there if you imagine that the Storm King is some sort of god or some kind of super like natural being or something. But yeah, other than that, he's kind of big even for Mythic Legions. And then here he is alongside the 4 Horsemen, Demonstros, and one of the GDTOYS Dinosaur Warriors. Next up, we have him alongside the Marvel Legends Ares and the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Thor. And then, of course, here we have the Storm King alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And just because I love them so much, even though you'll probably never display these guys next to the Storm King, here we have him alongside the Mafex Daredevil and the Mafex Classic Comic Book Captain America. I have reviews for both of them on my channel now. Be sure to check them out. And then for the final and most important size comparison, here we have the Storm King alongside my original character. That's the Unparalleled Universe Odious. He is available now. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And then on the opposite side, we have the King. That's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mirage Comics, Kirby, aka Jack Kirby. And then as far as the articulation goes, to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot going on here. I mean, you could tell that the body does have a lot of points of articulation, but all of the joints are hindered by all of this armor that he has on. So, you know, that does kind of suck. You can't really get him into any kind of crazy poses. In my opinion, he does make up for it in other areas. But yeah, the articulation is probably the weakest thing about this figure. But there were some surprises that I was happy to see, but for the most part, everything is pretty limited, and you're really not going to be able to get him into anything too dynamic or anything crazy. But let's go ahead and see what we have going on here, starting off at the head. So the head is on a ball joint at the top of the neck, so we do get some tilting action, but the hair does get in the way just a little bit. He could look side to side. Oh, there goes his ponytail. The ponytail does come off kind of easy. And, you know, the ponytail is just pegged in there, so you could swivel that around too. I guess that counts as articulation, right? And then he could look up to about right there, which is pretty good. And then he could look down to about right there. Yeah, so the head and the neck area is okay, but it is kind of limited because of the hair and the hood and all that stuff. But let's go ahead and see the torso. Actually, the torso kind of caught me by surprise because he does have a diaphragm cut and a ball joint at the waist, and the diaphragm cut is actually really good. Like, check this out. It moves quite a bit, so that's pretty nice. You could spin on that, move side to side, go back to about right there, which is really good, and then he could go forward to about right there, which in my opinion is pretty decent. So yeah, the torso is actually really good, which is surprising for such a big crazy character. And then he does have a ball joint at the waist as well. That is a little limited because of this thing around his waist and stuff. But the diaphragm cut is actually really good. So that's cool. And then for the arms, he does have ball joints at the shoulder. So his arms could go all the way around. Then you could bring them up to about right there. He does have this big old crazy shoulder pad. That definitely gets in the way. But it is on like elastic straps. So it kind of moves out of the way. But it's just so big and crazy that, you know, it's going to be in the way no matter what you do. And then he does have double jointed elbows, but you know, because of his big forearm guard, you don't get much movement out of that double joint. I mean, it only bends to about right there, which is basically less than 90. Honestly, if they would have just made it to where his arms could move a little bit more, I would have been okay with the articulation. I just wish the arms got a little bit more movement. Like maybe they could have left a cutout or like a knockout somewhere on the forearm guard, because yeah, as it is right now, he could only move his arms to about right there. And for the hands, he does have a ball joint at the wrist, so you could spin that around, and there's a hinge in there too. Yeah, so I mean, all the other articulation I could kind of like deal with, but I just wish the arms had a little bit more. But the diaphragm is nice, so that's cool. And then for the legs, he could kick his legs out to the side. Damn, he could kick his legs out a pretty good amount, actually. Look at that. Boom. So, okay, he could kick an orc or whatever. Bam. And he could kick his legs forward to about right there, which, you know, not a whole lot, but it's a little bit, so that's cool. At least there's some movement. He does have upper thigh swivel. He has double jointed knees that bend to about right there. I could definitely live with that. And he does have a swivel at the boot. And then at the foot, what do we have going on? Looks like he has a hinge and rocking ankles. And then you can also spin the foot as well. So good stuff there. So yeah, like I said, man, you're not really going to be able to get him into any really crazy poses. I mean, you could do some stuff, but just not a whole lot. Honestly, I'm pretty good with most of what's going on here. Like, I think the legs are okay, considering like everything that is going on, like around the waist and with these big old things on the lower legs. I'm okay with the legs. I like the torso. I just wish the arms were able to do just a little bit more. Specifically the elbows, because the shoulders, you know, you have these, so you could kind of make it work. But yeah, these elbows don't bend very much at all. And it would have been nice if he had a joint at the lower neck. I think that would have helped out quite a bit. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the torso. I'm okay with the legs. I just wish there was more going on with the arms. But overall, yeah, you're not really going to be able to get this guy into any really crazy poses. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, I think this is a really, really great figure. And if you're a big fan of Varian from World of Warcraft, I think that you'll be pretty happy with this guy. BROTOYS did some amazing work on him. There are some shortcomings though, mostly in the articulation department. Like, you're not really going to be able to get him into any kind of crazy dynamic poses. He does have good articulation, but all the joints are hindered by the armor and the design. All that stuff kind of gets in the way, and we're kind of just left with a figure that is going to look cool just standing there, and you could get him into some basic poses, just nothing crazy. So it's not really one of those types of figures that you're going to be picking up all the time and posing around. But in my opinion, I think he more than makes up for those shortcomings when it comes to the detail and the sculpt. Like, they absolutely killed it when it comes to that stuff. Like, the detail on the armor on this figure is some of the best sculpting work I've seen on a figure this size. Only comparable to the BROTOYS Kratos figure. Like, these two, when it comes to the sculpted detail, are definitely in a league of their own. BROTOYS really does kill it when it comes to that stuff. Like, everything about this figure is beautiful. The detail, the sculpt, the paint, the soft goods look really nice. So yeah, I think it's an incredible looking figure. He does have some fun accessories, and like I said, if you're a big fan of this character, I think that you'll be happy with this figure. But if you wanted something like super articulated that you could pose around, you're not really going to be able to get that from this figure. But you know, it's going to look dope on the shelf. That's 100% for sure, because he looks amazing. I love the design and everything, and it's just a cool figure with a lot of shelf presence. And yeah, of course, it'd be cool to get like a super articulated version of this character, but you know, who knows if someone could make it work with the design. It would probably take a bunch of aesthetic sacrifices, so you know, it is what it is. It's kind of one of those things. But yeah, man, if you want like a really good version of this character to stand on your shelf and look badass, then I highly recommend picking up this BROTOYS Storm King. Huge thank you to 5K Toys for sending this out to me to take a look at. I do appreciate it. You guys are always great. I'll leave a link to this figure in the description below. If you're interested, be sure to check it out. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. Thank you very much. Peace.